Good evening.
Good evening.
And thank you. My name is Andy Wheeler. My wife is Meredith Wheeler, and I'll be testifying on behalf of us both personally today in support with the key amendments from GLAD of the Parentage Act. The story of our path to parentage began 4 years ago. First, we tried at-home methods with a known donor, then through medically supervised inseminations, and now through in vitro fertilization, IVF, with a sperm donor from a sperm bank who, according to Rhode Island law, has more rights as a parent to my child than I do. During the last 4 years, I have been to every single appointment. That means early morning blood draws, invasive internal ultrasounds, and surgical egg procedures. And that includes being there when we lost our first 4 pregnancies. I was next to the phone when we learned our beta numbers weren't high enough for a viable pregnancy to continue. I was there next to my wife in the bathroom as we watched the lines on the pregnancy tests fade day to day. I was there at the ultrasound, holding my wife's hand when the doctor told us they couldn't find our daughter's heartbeat. And each of these times we were traumatized, not just by the act of losing a child, but in our helplessness to protect our children. No amount of dedication, no amount of love, no decision and care could save them. These were acts beyond our control. The decisions to be made were not ours to make. We merely chose, despite this tragedy, to keep going out of love and determination, even when we thought we couldn't. Now, my wife is pregnant again. And for the first time, we've been able to see, right on schedule, our baby's heartbeat. Believe me when I say you can only imagine the penetrating hope that leaps to mind when I say these words. However, I also have profound fear in regards to the process of being recognized as a parent to my child and protecting my child in the process. It hurts deeply to be told that because of the circumstances of conception, all of which are out of our control, that I need to be subject to the scrutiny of home studies, the requirement to appear before a judge, and the advertising of the donor in the paper that his rights are being relinquished, all in order to be afforded the same legal rights that other couples receive automatically just because their path to parenthood was more straightforward than ours. This lack of consistent, clear, and accessible parentage laws in Rhode Island adds to my fear, stress, and confusion. Now, any feelings of helplessness I have are not being caused by an act of fate, but by the lack of action by the legislature in the state in which I now reside. I understand that if this bill passes, it may not be in time for me and my family, but I hope you will pass this with the key amendments mentioned by GLAD for the sake of those who come after us, who may not know what lies ahead in their journey to parentage. Please take action to update the Rhode Island law to equally protect all families regardless of how their children are conceived. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. When's the due date?
October 18th.
Oh, we'll have it done by then. Have faith. We end session in the end of June.